Good morning, everybody. It is the 14th of June. The sun just popped up here a little bit ago. It's probably, let's see here, about 6:30 in the morning, and if you'll notice here how green everything is. And even the garden rows look like rich topsoil. We had a deluge of a rain this morning at about 1:55 to 2:55, about an hour, a little over an hour actually. The sky just opened up here with a thunderstorm, and it rained, probably the hardest rain we've gotten since last December or January. And for about close to an hour, just opened up. And of course, as you can see right now, the sky is perfectly clear, and that's how these storms move through here, really fast. But wow, so much rain, and so good that now finally in June, we're getting some really good rain here that we've needed for so long. And now watch everything get green. Of course, you can tell if you look across here how green everything is already from the rain we've gotten. And this is just, when that sun comes up today, like I said, everything is just going to be crazy. Probably have to turn the compost piles one more time today. And of course, good thing we did all the cleaning that we're doing. And of course, everything that Marites did here cleaning looks so good. Wow, so good to get that done before the rain starts. Because then it's just, otherwise it's just so muddy, you really are not doing much. And cleaning the fence row like we did yesterday, and Lando cleaning, you still got some to finish there. But yeah, it only takes a couple rains here for the jungle to just come back alive. The worst patch, of course, is still over here, where actually it gets so much direct sunlight here, and as you can see, there's just like green patches now. And not really a covering of grass. That was the drought, and it's the first time it's ever done that. I mean, we get a drought every year in a dry season, but never to the point where it literally kills the grass completely. And look at this, just the patches of green. It'll eventually come back, because our lawn here is not really grass, it's weeds. And as you cut them, the weeds will continue to grow, and pretty soon you have a nice even layer, and we kind of call it grass here, but it really isn't. It's because no grass is planted here. It's all basically weeds that are growing. But the drought was so bad here, and so much of this just dried up really to dirt. And now it'll come back slowly, and you can see the green starting to pop out again because of the rain we've had in June here. And so nice just to be able to get a few rains like this, even though the heat yesterday, wow, we were up over 100 again, and it was 100 plus in the kitchen, which never sees a direct sunshine in that. So yeah, and the humidity, of course, now with the rain early in the morning here, when that sun is finally up a little bit higher, the humidity here too is going to go through the roof. Take a look at the water in the pond here. That's how much rain we got. When the rainy season really begins, 2-3 rains like that will fill up the pond. And I measured it this morning when I first came down here because I wanted to see what it was like. But yeah, I was hoping that we were going to get in there and rake and clean and shovel up some of the dirt that's in the corner over there. And well, didn't get that opportunity. We kind of started raking here but didn't take any of it out, and of course now it's all floating in there. We'll have to see. It will take about a month for that to dry back up again, and maybe we'll never even get to that. Maybe this is the start of the rainy season. I still believe it's way too early. It just doesn't fit in with the pattern here at all. We shouldn't be getting the big rains like this until probably a later part of July, maybe August or September, and definitely in September when generally the rainy season starts and goes through the end of January. But as you can see down here too, and down to the rice field, there's no standing water anywhere. Even with a deluge rain like that, you'd normally expect to see standing water in the rice fields. And as we look down here, down below towards the rice field, of course no standing water at all. That's how dry the ground is. Just absorb all of that. And we need, oh God, we need 10, 15 rains like that in order to get back to anything what we would call a decent ground table. But every rain helps. And of course we already got a frog in there and enjoying the, I'm sure they're loving this. Enjoying the water for once after all the dry here. Yeah, it's coming along, and like I said, I think we're through the worst now of the drought. At least I'm keeping my fingers crossed. But this is a carbon copy of what happened last year in June. And got some really good decent rain, and then poof, just like that, July and August completely dried up, and really didn't get rain till November, December, and January. And generally we got 6 months of a rainy season, 6 months of a dry season, and that just didn't happen last year. And I hate to think that we're going to go through that again, and maybe this, keep my fingers crossed, the rain will continue here. So important. Being from the U.S., we take a lot of this for granted. And here, in a third world country, where water and the growing of rice and some crops are so important, the dry season and the rainy season is just to keep track of the weather, is just so fundamental to existence out in the country here. The city folks are like back home. As long as they can turn on the tap and there's water there and there's electricity, they're fine. Out here in the country, it's a whole different story. Water is by far the most important commodity, as we've been carrying water for what, close to 2 months already. And actually, when it stopped raining in February, and we were soon out of water after that, you realize how important that the rain is and everything here for the crops, for everything, for all the different fruit trees that you rely on for some kind of sustenance. things we, as an American, we pretty well take for granted, you know, on a daily basis, because it's kind of always been there. And even when I grew up in the 50s and 60s, it was there. We just, something you never worried about. Unless you had a severe thunderstorm or a severe snowstorm, or you may have lost electricity for a little bit. But nothing where your life became so dependent on it because all at once it wasn't there. And that's kind of life in a third world country here. And you really have to get out of the city and into the country to experience that. And it's a hard life. As any of you have learned by watching Beth's videos and my videos, it's not an easy life. And it's a life most people wouldn't tolerate. And of course, most expats and the way they live don't live anything like the culture that's really here. And Beth and I come so close to living it because we're actually trying to make something of our farm here and become more independent like the people here, instead of relying on somebody else. So I'm back up to the house. I'm going to say goodbye for now. Everybody have a good day. Like and subscribe, and God bless every single one of you.